What's good, Green Thumbs? John Moody here, and this is the Johnny Learns Gardening YouTube channel. Welcome back to another episode of the weekly garden update. Today's date is Saturday, August 16th. It is 10:01 a.m. It is about 80 degrees outside. It's getting hot, it's getting humid. Um, got some things to talk about, got some things to show you, so let's do it. All right, the sun is shining. The garden has been watered. The garden has been fed, fertilized. Here we go. Which end should I start in? I'll start with the potatoes. Walking over here to the grow bags underneath the willow tree. Just from here alone, the leaves have gotten green again. In previous episodes, I've spoken about how I was thinking they were just about ready for harvest. Apparently, they were not. I believe that the yellowing and other discoloration is caused by blight. I did not know that tomatoes got blight. I guess I really need to do some more research about blight. Last year on my tomatoes was the first time I've even heard about blight. So if you know what blight is and want to tell me all about it, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I did harvest a couple of potatoes, at least one or two, and they were so tiny. It was, yeah, a learning experience. If you were wondering where the other grow bag was, I just put it in a different location, thinking that it might get a little more sun. Um, yeah, same thing. Still fairly green leaves. I also have fallen over stems, as well as the discoloration from the what I believe is blight. So you can tell that I don't have that much going on in there as far as soil. I thought that I did. Maybe I should have been adding more along the way, but I have not. So this is what's going on. The wildflower beds are still hanging in there. Even when I had the fence covering it, Snickers found a way to get around it and still walk all over them. So I've even caught Eleanor walking all over them. So I'm very sorry, flower guys. But yeah, it was nice having you around while you were here. This is my new this year raised garden bed. These are the potatoes that I had left over, and kind of the same thing. Still fairly green, still discoloration. Again, I don't really know if it's blight or if it's just damage from pests. The bugs have been kind of strong this year, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I'll speak more on that later. Look at all these corn I got. So I have succession planted some corn, not necessarily on purpose. I thought it was because something was digging up my corn seeds, but you can see they're in different stages of development, different heights. But I want to say one of my problems was I overcrowded them. So yeah, I got this three sisters method thing going, and I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. But anyway, look at this teeny tiny, poor, sad little corn stalk. It's so skinny. It's got a little teeny tiny baby corn on there. Oh, I've also learned something that, oh, that has something to do with the zucchini. Apparently, I shouldn't plant zucchini so close to the potatoes. I imagine something similar for the corn. But anyway, um, I have previously talked about companion planting as well as enemy planting. And this is an example. Do not plant cucumbers with your potatoes. Not cucumbers, zucchini with your potatoes. Um, they compete for nutrients. I don't really know or understand why, but if memory serves me correctly, that was what I read. Zucchini and potatoes too close together is a no-no. I don't even remember how many ears I've already harvested, but this was a later corn stalk. The ear looks very big. I want to say the dog is what's been kind of tearing at it, but yeah, I should probably harvest that soon. I don't know if I've waited too long for some of them or took some of them out too early, but they looked ready. I did the thumb fingernail test thing, and some of the corn that I've harvested, they were okay, but not great. Probably 2 out of the 6 or 7 that I've harvested were awesome. But anyway, here's another one that looks like it's pretty close, if not there. And then I watched another video, and one of the farmers was saying how you pretty much only get 1 ear per stalk. Other ears develop, such as this one down here. But I guess in his experience or with whatever it is that he does, I don't even remember the name of the channel, but yeah, most of the time you only get 1 ear. I want to say my very first year of gardening, I at least had 2 ears per stalk. But yeah, last year was only one, and this year looks to be about the same. And then, is it still around or did it fall? There's a little bit right down in there. Looks gross, right? I want to say there was one right here, but it must have fallen. I have no idea what corn smut is, or it's also known as Mexican truffle. And there's another word that I'm not sure if I can pronounce right, so I don't really remember what it is. But yeah, apparently it's a Mexican delicacy. It's a very earthy flavor. They put it in quesadillas and soups. But yeah, I'm a little scared to try it. But yeah, it's some type of fungal growth in the ears of the corn. Yeah. Um, mushrooms, fungus. I like mushrooms just fine, but if it's only prepared and the proper kind, yeah. Heard too many scary stories about wild mushrooms. Some you can eat, some you can't eat. Since I don't know any better, I'm just not going to try it. Anyway, moving on. Three sisters method. So corn, zucchini. I got one developing right here. So it's nice to see some of the other zucchini plants actually producing fruit, because I had one zucchini plant that pretty much produced everything else. If you've checked out any of my previous videos, I've showed you some of the harvests, but I've probably had a total of, same thing, 6 zucchinis that I've harvested. So we'll say this is number 7. I want to say I threw one away, so that was 8. Then I want to say there's a couple of undeveloped ones or unfertilized ones that I've noticed. So not a great return, but it was okay. So yeah, 3 sisters: zucchini, squash, corn, and the green beans. So last year, my green beans were the superstar. My first year, it was cucumbers and zucchini. out of everything that I've grown, radish was pretty cool. My last year, pretty much just the green beans was the most impressive part. This year, I thought I had things straight. Thought I had things going good, but yeah, for me, I think that my expectations were a little too high. Um, we'll speak a little more on the tomatoes very soon, but yeah, I'm still on the green beans. So it's August. I want to say last week was the first time that I've harvested some beans. Looks like I need to harvest some more. So I felt like they've got a late start. I don't know why. Maybe same thing with Three Sisters method. Excuse me. Maybe it's because of the Three Sisters method that I have planted them a little too close together and they were competing. But let's do a far out shot. So yeah, I wanted to see this trellis be used properly, and it's doing what it does. Instead of falling over to the other side, they kind of just fallen over on themselves. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know if there was something that I should have done. And then also over here, they are supposed to grow up the corn stalks. That's the whole point of the Three Sisters method. But it looks like it's taken them out. So there's one that's kind of fallen over. Um, I kind of lifted it back up so that it could be on the trellis. But yeah, interesting, different method. First time trying it. Maybe next year I'll do better. Coming down here to the sugar snap peas. Yeah, we had that first wave and then we kind of just neglected it. And then I want to say we have let some mature too far. Therefore, these will be seed harvesting videos. But yeah, starting to die off. And you can see there's still a few pods on here. And there were probably some in the back that we missed. But yeah. The broccoli. The only reason why I let this broccoli stay was so that I could harvest the seeds from the pods. It is actually shocking to me that more heads have developed, or more florets, whatever you call them, have developed. And then I really don't know what all this stuff is. Are these aphids? They're not really moving. Are these like a dying stage of aphids? But there's like this brown, or not brown, but like dark gray, dusty stuff. And it seems like they move kind of like when the wind slightly blows, but I don't necessarily notice any legs or whatever. And I have noticed a lot of ladybugs, so I figured they would have been all eaten up. Anyway, I've blasted them with the water. They all kind of just stay on there. There's flies, so I don't know if flies eat aphids, but yeah. Which should I talk about next? This raised garden bed or the containers? Let's go with the containers. Coming over here to the raspberry, I really feel like I need to do more research. Um, Looks like a stem over here has broken. probably the dog running through it. Yeah, it's definitely come a long way. I feel like I need to prune. Yeah, I wasn't expecting any fruit this year. In all honesty, after I planted it, I thought it died. But no, it's definitely come a long way. And yeah, very excited to potentially get my own raspberries. Spinning around, here's the lavender. They have grown significantly, but still no flowers. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know why. They were winter sown, so that was cool. I have had difficulty growing lavender in the past, so it's exciting for it to get this far, yet disappointing that there's still no flowers. Is it because they're too close together? You know, when we transplanted these, the roots were intertwined and I didn't want to break it up. Maybe, I don't know. But I figured what I have in this huge container is enough soil. Definitely, maybe I left it in the little container when it was in that bed for too long. So I don't know, but they're still here and we'll see what happens. The blueberry plant. Very, very disappointing. It's still green, so I'm assuming it's still alive, but it hasn't really done too much. Started with this stem. I think this one grew, so I was hopeful. And then I think this one started. You can't see, I'm sorry. Started with this stem, then this one grew, so I was hopeful. And even this one started, so I was still hopeful, but it hasn't done anything, and I don't know why. If anyone has any advice, let me know. Swinging over to the mint. This is the first time I have seen mint flower. Apparently, they have a tendency to take over the area that they are planted in, and I'm assuming that is why they look like they could transfer very easily once they're ready. But yeah, this is my cilantro. The seeds have mostly dried and they are just about ready to be harvested. I still haven't used my cilantro for anything, really just to watch it bolt and then seed and then harvest the seed. So I don't want to say wasted effort, but I feel like I need to plan something better so that I can actually use it. Same with the parsley. This is actually the biggest I've ever seen it. Same thing, it's still not enough to do too much with. And yeah, I just need to plan better. The black opal basil, I have harvested a couple of times. It has grown into that. And yeah, I left some for my mother-in-law. They probably didn't use it. But yeah, same thing with the regular basil. I haven't really used it. We don't really make pizza and Italian dishes like that. Then there's the other lavender. Feel like is more separated, but yeah, still no flowers. Then my wife's cherry tomato plants. They've kind of been neglected, I'm not gonna lie. They did get watering, they did get a feeding today, and Snickers keeps coming over here and helping himself to whatever he can. So they are still fruiting. I want to say she has harvested some, but yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Too much is going on. And then I have the kiwi plant back here. Just like the raspberry plant, I thought it died after I planted it, but it has developed into this. It's growing up this garden tool, growing up this stake, And same thing, I feel like I need to learn what I need to do to help it along better. But maybe I'll get some fruit next year. We still have a couple months. I don't know. It's my first time growing it. Haven't really done much research, so I don't know. Moving on to the beefsteak tomatoes. I got at least one ripe guy right there that needs to be harvested. I have a lot of fruit that are still kind of small, so I don't know if it's nearing its end and it's just giving up. I feel like I've had a lot of fruit for a while, but they're just taking forever to ripen. And I don't know what that hole is there. If a bird came and got it, if bug damage, I don't know. Definitely need to invest in. I do have bird netting, but I don't have insect netting. So I need to invest in insect netting. I also need to invest in shade cloth. So if there's anybody out there that wants to sponsor their product, hit me up. Oh, what did I have right here? Cucumbers. Yeah, they didn't make it. They grew to about right here, and then they just kind of died. I don't exactly know why, but I did see some cucumber beetles. There was an insect. I took a picture. I Googled it, and it said it was a cucumber beetle. So, in addition to everything else, I feel like, yeah, the cucumber beetles took out my cucumbers. And I intend to plant some more. So, I haven't done it yet, but I will. Yeah, see, got a lot of fruit. And then I did see a fallen fruit down in that area. The one that you see there, I don't believe is it. Something got to it. Something was eating it. And it looked like a actual human bite. I don't think any of the humans around here took a bite and then threw it back in here. But yeah, I don't know if it was a squirrel. I was talking to my neighbor. He said he's seen some rats. So yeah, I don't know that rats dig things up like how I have in that corner over there. So I don't know. I haven't seen anything. The watermelon, it's come this far. This has been here since the beginning of spring, but it really hasn't done too much. Don't know why. Did I plant too much, around it? Is it competing with nutrients? I have been fertilizing. Never fertilized before. This is my first year consistently fertilizing. But yeah, since it wasn't doing anything, I planted some more. So I believe that the video I made last week, a couple weeks ago, I planted two seeds, so now I have two seedlings. As a new gardener, it's going to kill me to thin these out, but yeah, they look so similar. I don't know which one is the stronger one, but I also don't want them to compete with, with each other for nutrients and then eventually choke each other out. So I guess it's best to snip one off. Yeah. So I know I planted some spinach in this area. I don't necessarily see anything developing. It's hard to tell between the seedlings and the weeds. But yeah, moving on. The jalapenos. So I have three jalapeno plants. This is my first time growing jalapenos. My wife bought some peppers last year, I think. And same thing, they weren't mine, so I didn't really pay that close attention to them. and they didn't really do anything. So, yeah, very cool, very cool. The first time I harvested, they were very spicy. Then I harvested some more, brought some to my mother in law's. We actually had tacos, chopped some up. They weren't that spicy. So I don't know what determines the spiciness. Anyway, my plan is to pickle them. So there are two ways of pickling. One is the quick pickle, which I will probably have to do because I still have some of my previous harvests inside. And the second way is fermentation, where it introduces beneficial bacteria to your gut. So, yeah, all of that probiotics, which is what I really want to do, but I need to invest in the proper equipment. I don't have the, what is it called? Fermenting weights. I do have a bunch of these jars. Maybe I should just buy fresh, brand new jars, but I was trying to save some money, so saved a bunch of jars. I did plant some more carrots. I'm not expecting them anytime soon. I also planted some radish. I am expecting them to pop up soon. But yeah, out of the carrots that I do have, I have pulled up a few and they were so underdeveloped, probably because I didn't thin them out. Looks like the few that I have in here are getting to be okay. What are they? Nantis half long, so they're not gonna be huge carrots. But yeah, I need to buy a variety. I don't know why, but I want bigger carrots. And then the beets. I did harvest the Detroit red beet. I didn't do anything with it. I don't know why. Maybe they don't last that long after you harvest them. But these ones was a succession planting, and hopefully I can actually enjoy the fruit. The root. Some huge tomatoes over there. Why aren't you ripening? Got some cracking going on. What is that? Inconsistent watering. Yeah, so anyway, that is all I have for today, folks. Before I close it off, I want to talk about the movie line thing that I've been doing. So I don't just randomly quote movie lines. So it has to kind of make sense. It kind of has to relate to what it is that I'm talking about. So the only real participant that I have is my sister-in-law. So Melissa, thank you very much for participating. You're really good at naming all the movies that I quote. And I don't really have anything that comes up, so I'm not just going to fake it just to do it. Anyway, I just thought of one. So thank you all very much for watching, folks. Until next time, take care now. Bye bye then. Yeah, that's not it. Here it is. Ready? Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Oh no, I'm falling from the beanstalk. All right, guys. What movie or show or book or literature is that from? Sorry, that was all I got.